I'm supposed to be asleep right now. But I laid down and I was in that in between space. When you're not quite asleep and you're not quite awake. And I remembered my whole dream from last night, I think. I was just in the body of this other guy. Like transmigration or possession or something along those lines. It was his body. But it was me inside of him. He wasn't there. He was gone. Maybe traded places or I don't know. But his name was Sam. Shaggy hair, blue eyes, some 15, 16. He had a girlfriend. I was supposed to meet her at the lake. And I met Sam's parents. And nobody could tell that I wasn't him. I was just fell into his life. Doing his chores and cleaning up his room. He had a really nice house. It's definitely a family that was wealthy. And his little brother, I don't remember his little brother's name, but his little brother, another blonde kid, maybe I don't know, 8 to 10. He was the only one that realized I wasn't Sam. But he didn't confront me about it. I went to the lake. I hung out with this girl. And we had this romantic date. It was cute. There was so many different kinds of water plants that lived in that little pond lake thing. And with how much time I've spent around Lake Elkhorn over the last year, it was my kind of date, Aside from clearly the sexuality difference. And it's strange that even though I was in Sam's body, I was definitely interested in the girl. Maybe it wasn't Mimi. Maybe it was a different kind of me, a memory, or another version of myself. Another life, maybe. But I spent this day at the lake with Sam's girlfriend looking at all this beautiful plant life. And when I got home, my friends were there. I had this group of friends. And I didn't really remember them or know them. But, they didn't notice that I wasn't Sam either. And we just hung out and we played video games. And I remember everybody being really particular about not bringing shoes into the house, which was never really a rule. Most of the places I've been. They had a nice house. I don't know. There are so many details of this kid's life that are just foreign to me. And after the friends left, the little brother just asked me really softly if Sam was coming back. He didn't accuse me of not being Sam. He didn't ask me who I was. He wanted to know if Sam was coming back. And it was shortly after that I think I woke up. And as soon as I woke, it was gone. I didn't remember remember anything. But it reminds me of those stories like the man from Torrid, where one day this guy just steps off of a plane and goes into the airport and tries to grab his luggage or whatever. And everybody finds that he has a passport from a country that doesn't exist. And somehow he just wound up interdimensionally shifting onto this plane in our universe, our world, our dimension. And the police locked him in a hotel room, trying to figure out what was going on. They took his passport, all of this stuff, and he just vanished into thin air. You know, people still speculate as to whether or not it was true. I've seen photos of, the passport, but that could be fake. That doesn't matter. My point is, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of one of those creepy stories where you wake up in somebody else's body without a clue and you're just living their life. I've researched a lot about transmigration. Transmigration is essentially when your consciousness enters a new vessel without any disruption of continuity. You have all of your previous memories. You have everything that made you you. So the you that you are right now would be removed from this body and transferred into a new host body, a new meat suit. But I've never considered, well, I guess I have considered it, if the transmigration took place and there was already a consciousness in the new vessel, I feel like it would inevitably have to merge, right? Become one unified consciousness that isn't one or the other, it becomes both. Or this is like the thing I didn't think about, that they could switch. I never considered that they could switch. My leading theory for the amnesia that some people have is transmigration. I thought about that a lot after my memories got repressed. And I'm not entirely convinced that that's what happened, because I've been getting those memories back. But I guess if a transmigration of consciousness occurred, whether across dimension or across time itself, whether it was your higher self and your previous self, or, whatever the situation may be, two different consciousnesses altogether, if they did merge, the memories wouldn't be gone. But I always theorized that from the point of merging consciousness, you would have some kind of reset in the brain. A starting over. And it makes you wonder if in some other world, some kid named Sam experienced that too. A transmigration of souls. A unifying of consciousness, a repression of memory that led to the beginning of his journey somewhere else, not dissimilar from my own, quantumly connected to what happened here. I got the Two of Pentacles on the split right there. It reminds me of the binary card from my Oracle deck.